On NBA 2K23, you could throw defenders in unblockable dunk animations that didn't even require a green to go in. It was obvious that dunks were overpowered and needed toned down. So when I asked Mike Wang, the gameplay director of 2K, what has the highest skill gap in 2K24 before release, and he responded with the dunk meter, it made me and most of the community happy. But we all know 2K, if you've watched my channel especially, they almost always extremely nerf or buff something when they make a change, and the dunk meter on release of 2K24 was terrible. And by terrible, this is the test I did of Michael Jordan with Hall of Fame precision dunker trying to dunk on Spud Webb. Obviously, the meter shouldn't be this small when having a high dunk and trying to poster a small, bad paint defender. Mike Wang responded to this clip by saying, yes, we're working on improving the dunk meter logic, but it will take time. Last thing we want is OP meter dunks throwing off game balance, which is respectable, and in a recent patch, if you read carefully, it said dunk meter logic has been updated to make the window size better reflect dunk difficulty, okay? But there was also another change to help dunks. So today, I'm on my Ja Morant build that gets elite contact dunks, and we're going to see if Posterizer is good again. And I'll be talking about my opinion on if it's worth it to go for a high dunk and more. Drop a like for me, and let's get into it. Into the first gameplay, does the dunk meter and posterizer now work similar to how it did in 2K23 since this buff came out? Did it actually get better at all? Did 2K lie? And also, do I think you should go up on driving dunk now for the rest of the year if you're going to make another build? You see, first play of the game, I'm going to get a dunk. There was contact, so posterizer pops up. We've got Hall of Fame Slithery. This build is very badged out, but I did not use the dunk meter. Now, Bonnie's on a 99 3-point lockdown, so he should not be missing, but we're also going to be showing the instances of if you do have high dunk, when you should use it, when you shouldn't use it, and if you do use it, you're gonna see in the bad spots what happens as well. So Bonnie, 99 3-point misses off my pass, of course. But look, if you guys went high dunk, you're probably pretty upset because it's been bad this year. It's been rough, and you've been wanting to dunk on people. Now, you definitely still can. You could before this buff, but it was much harder, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys they did definitely make it a little bit easier to dunk, but also there's something that people have not thought about, which also made dunking easier on 2K24 that no one has really put a lot of time into thinking about. So anyway, here we go. 7-2, we're blowing these guys out. I'm just, you know, dribbling up. I got him crabbed, running down, contact, and I green the first one. But let's get an instant replay. You see that meter was tiny. I mean, very, very small. Hard to time, definitely not easy, but right there, he was on my hip. He was pretty much locked onto me. Although I was a little bit in front, he definitely did catch up. So this is gonna be a reoccurring theme you see when you do one where they're pretty much on you. It's gonna be a small meter. It's really about the placement of where the defender is. Check this one out. Big, huge dunk meter. When I start my dunk, the defender is out of position and we get a gigantic dunk meter. Although he did make it to the basket, he was not on me and he was also not under the rim when I started the dunk. So gold posterizer, gold precision dunker, you see them both popping up right there. This build, like I said, is badged out. I have unlimited layup and dunk boost, which people say is better than regular layup and dunk boost. And you see, once again, of course, on that one, it was basically a wide open dunk. We're going to have a pretty big dunk meter. So if you guys did go up on your driving dunk, you've been in pain for a little bit, but it has gotten a little bit better. And there's a lot more we have to talk about as well. I'm going to go down right here. And oh, missed the dunk. It drops the defender to the ground. I did not expect to get, I don't know, I didn't even expect to get the dunk meter right there. I thought it was going to take me out of the animation because it took so long for the dunk meter to pop up. But as you all see, even with finishing takeover, you're not just running down and dunking on people every time unless you time it right. So Mike Wang, he said one of the biggest skill gaps in the game was the dunk meter, although it was messed up like we talked about. Of course, if you have Hall of Fame precision dunker and a 99 driving dunk, you should not have a tiny dunk meter when trying to dunk on Spud Webb. Of course, I think that should be the size of the meter if you're dunking on, you know, Dikembe Mutombo and he's in position, or Rudy Gobert, you know, an elite paint defender. If you go down on them and they're in good position, of course, the meter should be small. So we weren't wanting 2K23 dunk meter to be back. We just wanted it to be fair. You guys know I speak in terms of the game having balance. Everything. I've got all types of builds. It's not just because I have a dunking build and I want dunking to be good. I got a dunking build. I got a small 3 hunting build. I have a lockdown. I got a center, if you guys knew, everything. Okay. So I speak in terms of balance. Obviously, if someone, because the badge is in the game, precision dunker, it's in the game for a reason. There should be a difference between no precision dunker dunking on someone, especially with bad defense, and having Hall of Fame precision dunker. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it should be a bigger meter size. So that's what I was talking about. Now look at this dunk right here. I mean, once again, the defenders were down there, but I timed the dunk correctly. So something that I wanted to talk about earlier that I didn't really get to talk about, that people haven't thought about, that made dunking better, was this latency issue, the lag issue that happened, the patch that came out about a month ago, the huge patch that we all know that basically was the real version of 2K24. Like, now we're actually playing 2K24, you know what I'm saying? That patch was so big. Right there you see, once again, it basically starts as a wide open dunk. It's huge. So now that there's so much less latency on the game, it's actually much easier to time the dunks. And I'm saying that from my opinion because I've actually played on a dunking build. I made this build like day 2 or day 3 of the game, and I couldn't dunk any of those small dunk meters right there. Look, again though, we are getting a pretty big dunk meter. So that's something I want to talk about as well in a minute. Now I'm on my Giannis Antetokounmpo build, my 6'10", that can, look at this. Look at the dunk meter right here because the defender's out of position, dunk all over people. So now that there's a lot less latency, before and after is a big difference. I could never time them before. Now, it's still difficult when the defender is in good position, but it's definitely easier to time. Look, another starts out as an open dunk, then it draws contact. We only have silver precision dunker at this moment, and we're still able to dunk on people. I'm telling y'all, dunking has gotten better. Look, 74 3-pointer wide open, chicken, just like that. Look how beautiful that jump shot is from 2K Labs. By the way, link is in the description. They're going to be helping you out with your jump shots a lot. I get every single one of my jump shots from 2K Labs. They've got all the green meters and your green window and things like that 2K does not show you. Now check this out. That was a dunk without the dunk meter. Now Mike Wang said that wasn't going to happen. He said that was going to be a very rare thing on 2K24. But I'm here to tell you guys that you actually don't have to use your dunk meter a lot, in my opinion. You see, of course, I got heat check. I'm not missing that. Like I said, jump shot from 2K Labs. Link is in the description. Use code BadgePlug. But you actually don't. From the games that I've played, you're able to get a good amount of posters with high dunk and things like that, as long as you have high posterizer. I've played on builds that have gold, and also I've played on builds that have silver. Okay, so into this next gameplay. Well, this is a 1v1 back on the Ja Morant build. There's so many things that we've had to talk about in this game. Look, you see, once again, I was getting that slithery animation. I go into the dunk, and now we have a big dunk meter. So a lot of things have changed. They've changed the logic on the difficulty of the dunking. So when you're in good position, you're going to get a good meter. Also, with the latency change, you're going to be able to time those harder dunks, as well as just every dunk in general. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be able to time those easier. But also, you see right here, once again, if the defender doesn't have that good, as I'm throwing him to the ground, by the way, if the defender doesn't have that good of defensive attributes and badges, because right here I'm playing a guard in the 1v1 court, so usually guards don't have that high of interior and stuff, it actually is much less forgiving. So what I'm trying to say is, basically, if the defender is not like right under the rim, and you've got high stuff, like you have high poster, high dunk, high precision dunker, things like that, you're going to be able to be forgived more by the game. So if they're not right under the rim, you're definitely going to be able to get a bigger dunk meter than normal, especially if they have lower defense. So is it perfect? No. There's still some instances in this video where you could look at one dunk that gave me a big meter and then one dunk that didn't, that was pretty similar, and you see once again a gigantic meter, but it pretty much looked like the same exact instance. You see what I'm saying? So it's really up to the game's logic. And we all know, like I said, if you're dunking on Dikembe Mutombo, you should have a much smaller meter than dunking on Spud Webb. That's really all I asked for, because as we all know, if you turn on the layup meter, especially, or if you just look at a jump shot meter when you take a jump shot, it actually fluctuates during the layup, during the dunk. So it moves up and down depending on the defense, right? So you can start off a layup where the meter is huge, and then if the defender comes by towards the end and gets a good contest, the meter is going to get much smaller. You can see that. But for some reason, the dunks didn't do that. So once again, I want to make sure you guys understand that I was not like, oh, we should have the 2K23 dunks back, they should be overpowered. No, I was actually one of the people that said that it should be nerfed because you could force people into dunk animations in 2K23. They couldn't block it. It was really up to the person on offense, and it was usually always the same dunk meter size, but it needed to be a little bit different. It needed to be adjusted, and 2K always goes extreme on one side or the other, and of course, that's what they did again. So I do think that the dunks are in a good position. I think that they could be a little bit better in terms of the logic of it, you know, when you should get a big dunk meter and when you shouldn't. But I think it's actually in a good spot. And should you go up high on driving dunk? That's really up to you after watching this gameplay. My opinion, though, is on twos, you could definitely have a really nice high dunking, you know, low 3-point, because you can shoot with a low 3-point, like 76 3-point. A little bit of defense type build. You can do it in rec. For threes, in terms of meta and winning the most games as possible, because driving dunk is so expensive, as you see me just dunking on this guy over and over, I don't really know. I don't really think that it's a meta build, but you could still win a lot of games, and it can really be a part of a good playstyle, of a winning playstyle, because not only can you know, shoot threes, because this build has an 85-3, but because of my high driving dunk, you have to guard me. You have to play down, or I'm going to dunk on you every single time. You see me cooking up right there, by the way. So twos, ones, definitely I could easily see a high dunking build be great. Threes as the main guard, I don't know. I'm a little iffy on it being a high consistency versus, like, you know, a three hunting guard that has a really high 3-pointer and things like that. But I honestly think it can work. And also in rec especially, you know, going down, and when you're using it correctly, you can dunk on people, guys. So click this video right here to see how to shoot on 2K24, okay? This is a lot of tips from me on how to shoot on 2K24. It's going to help you out, I promise you. And I'm out of here. Click it, tap it.